Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Greatest Graphic Novel Guide. I'm your host Rory Bailey, and this week we're going to be talking about Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. As you can see from this, I've got all three of his trilogy laid out there: Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again and Dark Knight Master Race. So we'll get around to the other two at some point, but for today we're going to talk about the Dark Knight Returns. Firstly, the version I've got is from the Eagle Moss Legends of Batman collection. The sole reason this is the one that I'm using is that I've been spending a small fortune on all of these, and yeah, so these are the ones that I'm sort of sticking with. Anyway, so The Dark Knight Returns is a really awesome Batman story. One of the very first ones that I read. It came out around about 1986, I believe, which is also the same year that I was born. So yeah, but my uncle got me into Batman, and this was one of the books that he got me in with. Essentially, the story, he follows an elderly Bruce Wayne who's been retired for numerous years and has also grown a mustache because, of course. And a few bits and pieces on the news start coming out about the Joker and Harvey Dent, who've reformed and things like that. And in fact, there we go. There's old mustachio Bruce Wayne, and so there's like a little bit of an episode because of it, and then finds himself randomly nude in the Batcave because, of course, he does, and his mustache has disappeared, and he has no idea why. That's an actual sequence of events. That's probably the worst sequence of events in here, that he just loses a mustache, but it's still pretty damn cool. Some of the visuals in this are awesome as well. Yeah, it's just a great story, and it's basically Batman being old and, you know, in like a dystopian sort of future Gotham, and having to deal with various bits and pieces that have been thrown his way because of crime being rampant in the city. We also get like a few different versions of his classic costumes. We get a ridiculously good Batmobile there, the tank one, which was the influence for the Dark Knight movies. Yeah, you can see that it was awesome. You've probably noticed as well, we've had a couple of different costumes so far. We've seen the grey and the blue. Now we've got the black and the grey. I'm sure there's one with the big black back symbol as well at some point. But yeah, he sort of switches between a few of the different ones. Introduces the first female Robin, which is Carrie Kelly. However, that's I don't know whether it's classed as canon or not, but because it's obviously the future. But yeah, it's a really good story. And one of the first things that I remember reading in here that stood out for me as a child is that we get the ridiculously cool thing of, oh, by the way, there's the other costume. We get the thing of Superman being sent after Bruce, and this was also, I think this was also my introduction to the Green Arrow as a character. But we got a knockdown, slap down brawl between Bats and Supes, and I just remember it being so awesome because obviously as a kid I knew who Superman was and how he's indestructible and everything, and then my uncle showed me this and he's like, yeah, you get to see Batman just kick the ever-loving shit out of Superman in there, and he does. So let me just try and find that for you. Yeah, this is when they're gearing up to it, and as I'm sure you can see, there's lots of stuff that was visually influential on the Batman vs Superman movie as well, because of the armor that he's beating Superman up with. And yeah, it's just awesome. It's just a really, really good story. And yeah, we get the little one-armed Oliver Queen cameo there, and Bruce Wayne just absolutely battering Superman for a while, and it's just a really good story. And I'd highly recommend it to anyone who's a fan of Batman or graphic novels, and a fan of Frank Miller's work, because Frank Miller's awesome. And then obviously the future reading for it is The Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is where everything that happened in The Dark Knight gets dialed up to 11 because of the Justice League coming back. And then following on from that is the Dark Knight Master Race, which builds on the lore that's been put together in the previous two books, and it's just a generally good read. So yeah, so I'd recommend all three of those. And as I say, if you've been on the fence about getting into comics, The Dark Knight Returns is the perfect like gateway drug for comic book collecting. It's frigging awesome, and I can't say enough good things about it. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this quick review, and I'll catch you next week with another one. And if you've enjoyed this, you know, feel free to find me on Twitter at king_roaster, and also at venom_comics. Please subscribe to the channel and all that. So yeah, thanks guys, see ya.